Hello everyone, I'm Shalini Singh, Assistant Professor at Department of Commerce at GemTech. So today we are going to start with our computerized accounting software, that is Tally. In this subject, we are going to learn about the basics of accounting, and the topics covered in this unit are accounting principles, accounting principles, concepts and conventions, types of account, rules of journal entry, and methods of accounting. So today we'll start with the accounting principles. First of all, what's an accountancy? Accountancy is often referred to as an art, the art of recording, classifying, summarizing financial information. So, as is the case with any form of art, accountancy also involves the use of one's creative skill to maintain a record of financial transactions. However, if free rein is given on the system of accountancy to be followed, there will be no limit on the scope of manipulation of the accounts. So, accountancy, as we all saw, is in an environment where the financial statements are presented to the external stakeholders, such as those who are very much interested in investment purposes in the companies, such as investors, bankers, stock exchange, revenue department, government, etc. So there arises a need for an accounting framework on the basis of which the financial transaction should be recorded so as to make the resulting financial system comparable. So this need leads to the framing of accounting principles, which is known as generally accepted accounting principles. Now, what do you mean by GAAP? That is generally accepted accounting principles. Uh, generally, GAAP are basic accounting principles and guidelines which provides the framework for more detailed and comprehensive accounting rules, standards, and other industry-specific accounting practices. For example, the Financial Accounting Standard Board uses these principles as a base to frame their own accounting standards. So, thus, encompasses the basic accounting principles or the guidelines, accounting standards usually issued by the premier accounting body of the country, industry specific accounting practices to cover the unusual scenario. So in India, the financial statements are prepared on the basis of accounting standards issued by the Institute of Chartered Accounts of India and the law laid down in the respective applicable acts. For example, in Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013, it should be compulsorily followed by all the companies. These accounting principles need to be followed by all the companies. So the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India also releases guidance notes from time to time on various topics to help in the accounting process and provide clarity. While the basic accounting principles may not directly form a part of accounting standards and the related laws, they are assumed and expected to be universally followed. Now, what do you mean by accounting principles and concepts? Uh, So the accounting principles are the uniform practices which entities follow to record, prepare, and present the financial statement. So entity must prepare its financial statement as per the acceptable accounting principles in order to present the true and fair view of the state of affairs of the entity. So in India, as I told you in the previous slide also, that accounting principles are the accounting standards uh, followed in the Indian accounting standard. So uniform accounting principles assist in the comparison of financial statement of the entities. So if the accounting principles followed are same, then reader of financial statements can compare the financial results of two entities. However, if separate entities follow different accounting principle, they should at first prepare financial as per same accounting principle and then reader should make a comparison. Now let's see what are the basic principles of accounting. So accounting principles involves both accounting concepts as well as accounting conventions. So here are a few concepts. So number one, business entity. Second, monetary unit, dual aspect, going concern, historical cost, accounting period and matching concept, and realization concept. So let's see what all these accounting concepts mean. Business as a business entity concept means uh, 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 it says that every business entity should be treated as an entity which is separate from its owner. So the business and the owner, they both are the separate entities. Therefore, all the financial transactions should also be distinguished in such a manner. So this concept is especially important while recording the financial transactions of a sole proprietor when the entire business with its aspect and liabilities belong to the proprietor. So the financial transactions need to be distinguished between those related to the business and those related to the proprietor personally. Second is monetary unit assumption, or you can say money measurement concept. So monetary unit concept, it is basically all the financial transactions of the business are should be capable of being expressed in terms of monetary units. That is in Indian currency. So in accounting, basically those transactions are recorded that have a monetary value, that can be specified, that can be defined in monetary terms. So, and if it is not possible to do so, then it should be recorded in the books of uh, accounts of the business. So all the transactions which are monetary in nature, that are recorded in the books of account of the business. So this is your monetary unit of concept. Third one is your dual aspect concept. So in dual aspect concept, the every credit, like dual aspect means there are two accounts which are being impacted by this accounting concepts. So one has to be credited and another one has to be debited. So this is the dual aspect concept. So in dual aspect concept, for every credit, a corresponding debit is made. So the recording of the transaction is complete only with this dual aspects when two accounts are being impacted. Fourth one is your going concern concept. So in going concern concept, in accounting, a business is expected to continue for a fairly long time. It ends only when it becomes insolvent. So unless until there is a loss or a insolvency in the company goes on, it continues its working. So it it continues fairly for a long time and carry out its commitments and obligations simultaneously. So this assumes that the business will not be forced to stop functioning and liquidate before unless and until it goes insolvent. So this is called your going concern concept, which means a company runs unless and until it becomes insolvent. Then is your historical cost concept. So historical cost concept means the it's a general rule when a certain economic resources or the assets are acquired by an enterprise, they are recorded as per the cash or cash equivalents actually spent to acquire that resource or the assets on the transaction date. Even if the transactions happened the previous day or the 10 years ago, this would result in the value of remaining assets uh, constant irrespective of the accounting period. So the market value of the asset is not taken into account unless specifically required by the law of account. So the historical cost concept, the fixed, like for the example, the fixed assets of business are recorded on the basis of their original cost in the first year of accounting. Subsequently, these assets are also recorded, reducing their depreciation. So no rise or fall in the market price is taken into account. This concept applies only to the fixed assets. Then comes your accounting period, or you can call as accounting year concept. So each business has a specific duration, financial year ending. So the each business choose a specific time period to complete a cycle of the accounting process. For example, monthly, quarterly, or annually, as per the fiscal or calendar year. So the financial year chosen for any accounting cycle is usually in India. It exists from 1st April to March 31st. Then comes your matching concept. Matching concept, this principle dictates that for every entry of revenue recorded in the accounting period, there is an equal expense entry which has to be recorded accordingly. If there is a difference in that, then it means there is some loss or there is some mistake in the entry. So matching concept basically focuses on all the entries where every revenue recorded has a equal expense entry also. So it should be recorded correctly so that a proper calculation can be done and profit and loss can be defined from it. And the last one is your realization concept. So according to this concept, profit is recognized only when it is earned. So after making all the entries related to revenue and expenses, at the end, profit or loss is generated, and an advance or a fee paid is not considered. So a profit until the goods or services have been delivered to the buyer, there won't be any realization. So basically, realization is done when all the expenses have been dealt with, and at last the remaining becomes the profit. That is the realization concept. At the last we realize the profit of the company. So these are the few principles of accounting. Next is our accounting concepts. So accounting concepts, there are basically four main convention. Accounting convention. Basically four main conventions in practice. That is conservatism, consistency, full disclosure, and materiality. So full disclosure principle, it entails the revelation of all the information. That is all the information of receipt of expenses, receipt payment, revenue expenses. Each and every information should be displayed and recorded in the accounting books. So both favorable and detrimental to the business enterprise, which are of material value to the creditors and debtors, should be disclosed in this accounting convention. So this is your full disclosure principle, which states that all the information should be disclosed, which is material to the creditors and debtors of the company. Then comes your consistency. According to consistency, it prescribes that the use of same accounting principles from one period of an accounting cycle to the next, so that the same standards are applied to calculate the profit and loss. In consistency, basically a method is followed so as to keep a consistency in the valuation process, so that there is no mislead, or there is a calculation error. So entity may decide to follow a particular accounting procedure in relation to a series of transactions. So such as accounting procedures need to be followed consistently over the following accounting period so as to facilitate comparison of the results between two periods. For example, an entity might choose to adopt a straight line method of depreciation of its tangible fixed assets. So this method needs to be consistently followed even in the next coming years. Next is your materiality. So this convention of accounting explains that an entity to disregard another accounting principle if the result of same does not affect the decision making of the user of the financial statement. Certain errors or omissions may also be ignored if their effect is immaterial to the financial statement. For example, when a fixed asset is purchased, the matching concept requires the entity to recognize the expenditure over the useful life of the asset. So if an entity purchases a keyboard for rupees 300 and the turnover of such an entity is in crores of rupee, it would be immaterial to the user of financial statements whether such an asset is recognized as an asset or an expense. Thus, even if the computer keyboard is considered as an expense in the year of purchase, it would not be violating the basic accounting principles in the account involved, and impact of the same is immaterial. So this is your materiality concept. Next is conservatism. It is the process in the process of accounting. One might come across various situations where there are two equally acceptable ways of accounting for a particular transaction. One might even have to choose between recording a transaction or not recording the same. In such a situation, a conservative approach should be followed. So this means that while accounting for a particular transaction, all the anticipated expenses and losses will need to be taken care of, but all the potential income or gains should not be recorded, and it is not necessary to take care of those profits. So this is why a provision for expenses like bad debts is made, but there is no corresponding record provided for an increase in the realizable value of the asset. So these are the four accounting main accounting conventions of accounting principle. Thank you.